It is Monday, May 22nd. Welcome back to the Cosasverdes show. Check it out. Bitcoin's weekly 10 EMA is pushing price very likely below the origin line that on this channel, for returning viewers, we've been talking about. Bitcoin does not have permission to touch this origin line here by the rules of origin lines going back 13, 14 years from the origin of price. And the rules have only been broken once during May of 2021 during the only coordinated attack on Bitcoin. That likely will never be repeated. That was my theory. And so far, now Bitcoin is going under that origin line for the first time in quite a while, since the dip down to 20K before the massive pump, but it is now using the weekly 10 as resistance, getting ready to potentially make a higher low down at 21,000 or so on the next origin line down, but it simply has to be hit. I know it was hard to believe as price was racing up for about 6 months here, but now we're getting to that point and it's going to be a very tradable move. So that's what we're going to cover, and we're going to relate it to previous price history behind me here on all the times that Bitcoin went below one of these ascending origin lines by getting trapped under the weekly 10, similar to how my arrow is pointing up here next to the Austin Powers evil guy up here next to 69K, $1 million if you're old enough to know what that means. And we're going to check that out so you can be ready for the next move that's getting ready to come, because no one else on YouTube uses origin lines because they're mine and they originate from my channel. So let's dive into this and let's go get some Bitcoin. You ready? Let's get it. All right, check it out. We're going to dive first into the previous price history, and let's first go to the last bear market and see some differences here. The last time Bitcoin appeared to have bottomed in the bear market, it actually did, as it respected the weekly 10 EMA for a total count of 14 weeks. And this bear market, it respected it before it blasted up 0 weeks. 0 weeks versus 14. Not a very good sign if you're going to enter a bull market. It's literally a requirement, not just the Bitcoin, but almost all markets after you go into a bear market. So I am not convinced we're going into a bull market of any sorts. The bottom might be in a Bitcoin, but we're not going into a bull market, as we've stated on the channel multiple times. After a rally up to 14K from roughly 3,200 back in December 2018 through February of 2019 back here, even March, before it blasted up on, I think, it was the last day of March, or it was maybe even April Fool. Yeah, it was April Fool's, I think, when it blasted up in 2019. But that whole rally that lasted several months, very similar to the time frame we just experienced, from the blast up to there was 95 days. And we're going to go to current price to get a feel for that. From the blast to current price was 120 days. So we're a little bit overdue here. And we've been going down for a little bit. So technically, if you go here, that's about 135 days. Boom, bada bing. All right, now the next time price got trapped under the weekly 10 EMA after going above an origin line. See this orange line here that I'm tracing? Okay, that's the one I'm focused on, because going above price, when price is going up, it's above the 10 EMA. So then it finally went below the 10 EMA, dropped below this orange, or it's the master origin line zone, really, is why this is a different color than all the origin lines. But then it came up to get rejected by an origin line and got trapped under the weekly 10. And what did it do? It hit the next origin line down perfectly. And then the next time, let's zoom way in here so you can start really seeing this. I am on the 8-hour chart in case you're interested, but you get trapped under the weekly 10 and you get pushed down below the origin line, and it went 2 origin lines down, not 1, but 2 after the rally. Okay. And that's 14 weeks of respecting the weekly 10 EMA, rounding out a bottom near the 3,200 to 4K area. And we have 0 weeks of respecting. And it still got trapped under the weekly 10, went down to an origin line, rallied one more time, got trapped under the weekly 10, dropped 2 origin lines down. And yes, that was coronavirus. However, it still can be done. And it's not the first time Bitcoin has dropped 2 origin lines down after getting trapped under in 2018, it dropped 3 origin lines down. Price falling, get trapped under the weekly 10, get rejected by an origin line back in August of 2018, and then went 1, 2, 3 origin lines down, barely came up shy, hitting that origin line by about 3%. So let's call that 3 origin lines down off 3%, okay? But that's a touch. Within 4%, 5% on Bitcoin, let's call that a touch on a macro move. Micro moves, obviously not, because micro fits within like 3%, right? Okay, so let's check out this bear market, or since the 64K top, let's check out what happened during Wyckoff. I will probably even go to the 4-hour chart so we can see, be more intimate with the candles here. You didn't get much heads up. After it fell below an origin line, started getting rejected from it, and essentially trapped, so a squeeze play under this. Wasn't a very good squeeze play. A better squeeze play would have been price hanging out here a little bit more. However, it hung out a little bit more sloppily for an entire 3 days and then just dropped. So that was from the 64K top. Then Bitcoin fell from here, 1, 2 origin lines down, 1, 2 origin lines down, not 1 origin line down, but 2. So keep that in mind about, so you can understand. The reason I'm saying this is so that you can see the likelihood of, or you can see the most probable price paths moving forward here. And this is the time for returning viewers to go ahead and take a quick moment to hit the like button and leave me a quick comment for the algo to help out your crypto content creator in a crypto bear market. I would appreciate it. And new viewers, I would prefer to earn your sub, so I'm not going to ask you to hit like or hit the bell or anything yet. However, if you are seeing something that jives with you, then go ahead and hit like and hit the bell, subscribe and hit the bell for all alerts, so I will be able to deliver time-sensitive information to you. And I can't do that unless you hit the bell. Uh-oh, price might be moving. Yeah, it's making a small move up. All right, not a big deal. Okay, now, price had a rally after falling down, went under, so this red line is the weekly 10. This is an origin line. Don't worry about it being a different color, just means it's the most important origin line section, but it used to be the macro support. Bitcoin never really went under there until this bear market. Okay, so look here. Goes under this orange origin line, gets trapped under the weekly 10, and what happened? Went down how many origin lines? 1, 2. Okay? All right, just keep watching. All right, next origin line. Okay, this is after the 47K rally around April of 2022. Get trapped. This is a very good squeeze play, so let's zoom into this so you can see how price moves. Just watch it dance. Look at this. Check it out. We're going to use the time machine replay button, and let's watch it. That's all she wrote. And how many origin lines down does she go? Well, there's one. These are 4-hour candles. Probably waiting on the 10 EMA to come down to get closer. Usually price does not want to separate too far away from the 10 EMA, so it's going to wait for it to catch up before going down more. And maybe even try to, bounce on top of it before going down further. There you go. Down 2 origin lines. Uh-oh, you're going below another one? That means it's going down 3 origin lines. Wow. Isn't that freaking crazy? There you go. Came within what percent? Within 4.8% of the 3rd origin line down. Okay, let's take off the replay button. This is why I've been saying, don't get bullish. Don't get super macro bullish for an extended period of time. All right, so now the $15,500 low from November of 2022, that could be the bottom, sure, but look what's happening, okay? All right, it could be the bottom even if Bitcoin drops 2 origin lines down. So let's go see what price is doing right now. Let's use the replay button. And actually, let's go to the 1-hour chart. Are you ready? Let's go. Focus on that weekly 10 and the how price interacts with both that and the origin line. You're looking at the relationship among price, the weekly 10, and the origin line, and the relationship of the red line with the origin line too. What do you think's getting ready to happen? Let's give you the top 2 or 3 most likely probabilities now that price is both below an origin line and the weekly 10 getting ready to have the perfect squeeze play. I mean, you're not going to find this anywhere else. I'm the only one on the internet who exists with origin lines because I made them. And I halfway named them. I stole the name from somebody else. But just the name. Because it was a cool name. Nope, I'm on the wrong side. I don't want to be up top to the right. Okay, so when Bitcoin goes down, it's not a question of if, it's when. I mean, it's not a guarantee, but it is a question of when. With an extremely high likelihood. Okay, so down one origin line, if it takes if it has one strong move down, that's 22 days from one origin line to the next. Over here, it was an exceptionally strong move. That took 9 days for the move to happen. Over here, this was also an exceptionally strong move, 7 days. Over here, 15 days. This area here is a little different because it was bouncing between. So this went up to the weekly 10 as opposed to being on top of it then falling under. That is a different situation, right? However, it might be nice to know the timing. How long did it take in general simply to traverse that area from origin line to origin line? Oh, 2 weeks. Okay, 15 days again. Are we seeing a pattern here? All right, here's one that price was above it, fell below, got trapped, and so we're about right here right now. Could wiggle around. So how long did it wiggle around before falling? It wiggled around for 15 days total, and once it fell finally, how long did it take to get to that one took a month. So it's going to take 40 days or less, essentially. All right, so how long has it been wiggling over here, yonder? How long has it been? Oh, 11 days. So that means we have less than a month. Less than a month. So, okay. So mark my words, and I will very likely be able to make a show-off video in July. Okay, on July 1st, I'll probably make a show-off video, and I'll have to remember May 22nd video is the video to which I need to refer to make that show-off video. Before July 1st, the next origin line will be hit. The next origin line will be hit before July 1st. So if we put this on July 1st, right behind me, mark with Alt-V to make the horizontal, or the vertical line, it's going to hit at least 21,500 or lower, because if it hits it sooner, it's 20,500. It's going to hit this line before July 1st or around July 1st, but very likely before it. So your next target, okay, so we're getting ready to have a downtrend for about a month, and it's going to go down 21% over time. It might only take 7 days. Like, you can't deny what you're seeing in the charts just because. So let me help out anybody who doesn't want to believe, what you're seeing here. So think about the word believe. What do I mean by that? That means, don't ever believe me that price will hit here. That is not what I'm saying. That is an unhealthy behavior. Don't believe it, because price can do exceptionally surprising things. If the Argentinian peso completely fails, which it pretty much is, and the people react to the government releasing a new currency and they finally say no, on the 4th time within a 55-year period that their wealth is completely destroyed because their government prints money and creates hyperinflation. I think the Argentine people, whatever the adjective is, they could create single-handedly the Bitcoin adoption wave that we're looking for, and it would undo everything I'm saying. So the adoption wave would undo this, and it's possible. Like, it could be on the brink. Like, that peso, it really could happen. But the people there have to reject So it can't just be their currency fails. They have to reject the new currency that their country makes. Does that make sense? And they have to use Bitcoin. And then other countries and people would finally realize, hey, we can say no to our government printing money. Crazy. And it's similar to the 4-minute mile. I've gone over this on my channel multiple times, but for new viewers, nobody in the history of the world up until the 1940s or 50s, it was somewhere around the World War II or Korean War, no one in the history of the earth ran a mile in under 4 minutes. But once the first person did it, then within a decade, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people did it, and within a few decades, even high schoolers broke it. High school kids, within 30 years, maybe, I don't even know how many years it was, but it was a few decades. High schooler kids did something that no human on earth could ever do. Why? Because people understood, holy crap, we can do this? That's what Bitcoin, that's how I'm telling you. If, with the assumption Bitcoin adoption will happen, which it's not guaranteed, unfortunately. Like, I'm a Bitcoin pseudo-maxi, and it hurts me to say that, but it is not guaranteed. However, if you can make that unsafe assumption, moderately safe assumption that it'll happen someday, but maybe it's not safe, I don't know. That assumption that it will happen, under that premise, which is not guaranteed, under the premise Bitcoin adoption will happen one day, before we die, that is how it will happen. People will say no to their government currency, and the 4-minute mile thought across the world, oh my gosh, we can do this, it will happen. So that would undo it, but it would take something drastic. It would take something like that to undo the probabilities of what I'm about to say. So the word believe is, don't believe it will fall down here, right? Because then you might be trading the wrong way under the idea that Bitcoin adoption happens, and you don't want to do that. However, what I mean by believe is, you are denying what everything I just showed you, which clearly shows it is a statistically exceptionally probable thing at this moment in time. At Bitcoin, its next tradable trend, long-term trend, will be down. This is the trend reversal with an exceptionally high degree. For anybody bullish who doesn't want to accept that, I can't help you. So, for those people, I mean, yes, go ahead and, go keep watching your bullish channels of the YouTube content creators who are trying to sell you their altcoins. But once you realize that I'm right, because I have an exceptionally high probability of being correct here, it's just statistics, then you'll realize who you need to be watching. And it's not the other people. And again, what is baked into this highly probable scenario is if the adoption wave happens or something, I don't know, maybe even a bomb happens and there's a rush to, there's another thing that could undo this, is inflation really gets out of control in a short period of time in the United States, and there's a rush to inflation safety nets, and Bitcoin would be it, but I don't see that happening quite yet. I don't think inflation, I think inflation will be stickier than what the news is letting you perceive, and informing you that it will be, just like transitory, right? They already knew it was going to happen. They were lying to you. But both political parties in the U.S. do that. I'm not proclaiming political affiliation. Actually, I strongly despise both major parties in the U.S. If you want to know my exact thoughts on it, I'm more on the libertarian camp, and I think I'm not gonna follow people like a chicken. Okay, people say sheep, but man, chickens are where it's at. Humans act a lot like chickens, and that was the adoption wave too. That like, oh, we can do this, then everybody follows. So if you have a new watering system for chickens, only one chicken has to discover how to do it, and then the others see it, and then they all know how to drink out of that new water contraption. But it takes one chicken to discover it first, and they all see it and go, and they all start going. So humans are a bunch of chickens. I'm serious. In terms of mass, when they are in the masses together. From an individualistic standpoint, not so much. But even TikTok, that's chickens. One famous person does something with a water bottle or a hairstyle or whatever, or a basketball with a water bottle or something, then what does everybody do? They just copy each other. And that's the TikTok thing, because it's a Chinese thing, and Chinese people love copying. They even have entire replicas of Paris and other cities and stuff because they like to copy. It's their culture. I think it has to do with the way their language is built, and they spend way too much brain power with the characters, and therefore they copy as opposed to innovate. That is my theory on that, and it's a very highly supported theory as well. But it's just embedded in their culture, and but it makes sense. Even outside of China, Americans are loving TikTok, and they're all doing the stupid shit that I mean, people are like chickens, right? Okay, so once you see this fall, you can come back to my channel like a bunch of chickens, because I was with Origin Lines. I am the very first chicken, out here to show you, and you might not believe there's water inside of it first, but once you see it start falling down. And I'm addressing the people who are more new viewers or people who are regular viewers who just cannot accept what I'm saying. So that's okay, don't accept it, but once you see it happening, come back to my channel, and you can also hit the subscribe and bell like a chicken as well for all alerts, so I can deliver you some time-sensitive information, as we're going to get a nice tradable trend that'll last between 7 to 38 days. All right, that's it. Have a good Monday.